Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound podcast channel on YouTube. I am Unfound's host, Ed Denzel. Before I get into this video concerning the disappearance of Alwin Albright, I hope you will consider giving this video a like, a thumbs up, and please consider becoming a subscriber to this channel if you are not yet one. I'm going to be going through what the video showed from Alwin walking off the property. I'm going to show you the surrounding area, and then I'm going to show you those couple of areas that I mentioned in the summation that Sherry wanted me to comment on regarding Kelsey Bottom and the Gilmer Plaza, some stories that came out of there after Alwin's disappearance. But first, what you are looking at on this video is the apartment complex where Alwin, Amanda, and Mavis lived at the time, and I do believe that Amanda, if that is her real name, and Mavis still live right here at 700 East Scott Street, Gilmer, Texas. I think you can see that address on the screen. I'm not going to do a street view for this because the street view quality is very poor. They've only ever done a street view for this section of Gilmer, this little street here, once, and it was, I think, 10 years ago, so it's not as clear as I would hope, but I can tell you just going on there that you can see the location of where this one camera is on the property that showed Alwin walking off. So let's talk about that first. You probably suspect that to the right side of your screen is east, and to the left side of your screen is west. And as Sherry described, the video showed Alwin walking west right in the middle of the street. Now, he lived, I think, in Unit 29, which is right here in the middle of the complex. I believe the low numbers are over here on the left. Higher numbers are here over on the right. So that right here in the middle is where both he and Amanda and Mavis lived, although I think Amanda lived on the opposite side of the street. So they all lived right here in the central area of this apartment complex. And as Sherry noted, when the police showed up after Amanda's call, they would have been showing up right here. And then shortly after that, within like 5 minutes, Alwin was seen walking right down the center of this street. And then, although she did not get this descriptive in the interview, I can tell you in a prior conversation, she said that he went up here to the west, turned this corner to the point that his right shoulder almost touched the side of this building right here. So he was walking this way, and then as she described, she went a north/northwest direction right here, almost touching the side of this building. That is how close he was to that. She said that there were no one else walking. There was no one else walking in the video. However, she did say as he was walking this direction, a car came by and Alwin waved to the driver. So I think you can tell by this that Alwin surely would have seen the police car that pulled up here in this area. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. Now, the question is, why didn't the police see him walking down the street? Why didn't Amanda see him walking down the street? Maybe they weren't paying attention. Maybe the police officers walked inside Amanda's house. Maybe Alwin waited for that exact moment. Maybe he saw what was going on and took a chance, saw his opportunity to walk off there. Until we find Alwin, and if he is alive, maybe we'll be able to ask him that. But I don't know if there's a clear explanation as to why the police officers, or maybe there's just one officer, and a man did not see him walking down the street, because it doesn't seem like he was trying to hide himself, at least at this point. So we're just not sure about that. So he walks down this way, does not seem to be in a hurry, very casual, normal walk, 74-year-old man, comes down here and goes right past this building up in this direction. That is the last time he is seen on the video. Now, as I stated in the episode, it is certainly possible that he looped right back around to his apartment. or that he kept walking, or waited till the police were gone and came back. There are a variety of possibilities because he was never seen coming back, either by video or by a person with his or her own eyes. But that is describing what the video showed. So now let me zoom out a little bit to just show you a little of the surrounding area. Keeping in mind that that red little spot is where the apartment is. Once again, he was walking down this way and headed in this direction. You can see that this area, there are certainly some woods there. Not that big. I'm looking at the scale right now. This area looks to be maybe about 750 feet east and west, and about the same 750 feet north and south. So 750 feet by 750 feet. Although my understanding is that area was searched, but having never been there, I don't know how thick it is. I don't know the quality of the people who were looking. I'm sure they were trying their best, but I'm sure they were not experts. So we have to figure that into our calculations, that if we were to believe that Alwin walked into these woods, hurt himself, or committed suicide or something, then there certainly still is the possibility that he could be in there. But without being there and be able to look at the underbrush for myself and how thick it is, it's hard to say. However, I do see off to the east here, there's a huge, large area. That would probably be about a quarter mile north, east and west, and maybe all of that north and south. So it's a much bigger area. Once again, though, I don't know how thick it is. It very well could be that it looks thick from the air, but those could just be trees, and you might be able to walk through there very easily. It's just hard to say. But other than that, I think you can see that we have a major road here, Route 155, that's right there. We have some little bushes and woodsy areas that maybe could hide Alwin, but we have to remember that he left at 1:30 in the afternoon, bright daylight, lots of daylight going to be left in July, that he was not seen, at least that day, July 6th, walking in any direction. So, and I think the word got out fairly quickly about him going missing, at least after he was discovered to be missing, but it took some days. Maybe that is a factor. Maybe people just couldn't remember going back to July 6th if they didn't figure out that he was missing until July 12th, for example. So maybe it's just hard to say. But you can see that this is not some really forested area. And if he were to walk away and wanted to stay away from people, he would have to stick to the woods, stay away from the roads. And it seems like in this area, that might be a little difficult. Just looking at it, once again, having never been there. But that's what the surrounding area looks like. Now what I'm going to do is show you a couple of the areas that were mentioned in my summation that Sherry wanted me to mention. One was called Kelsey Bottom, and then the other was called the Gilmer Plaza. For Kelsey Bottom, the importance of that is seemingly Mavis's phone pinged in that area either on the day of Alwin's disappearance or shortly after that. And maybe we'll go and do that one first. So let me just do, now you should know that there isn't necessarily, it must be a local's name for the area, but there is an area called Kelsey, and so I'm just going to do a directions to that area, and there you go. So on the right part of the screen, you can see where the apartment complex is, and then if by car, 14 minutes, as you can see here, 7.8 miles. This is Kelsey right here, and there's a place called Kelsey Bottom. So I'm not sure necessarily where Kelsey Bottom is, but I think this gives us a very good idea. Let me just, oops, hate this laptop, hate it. I just don't know what it's doing sometimes. I just have no idea. It has a mind of its own. The mouse on these Dell laptops from about 4 years ago that were made stink. All right, here we go. So you can see Kelsey right here. There's Lake Gilmer, but this area is known as Kelsey. There is a creek known as Kelsey Creek. Maybe it attaches to Lake Gilmer, or maybe it's right in here. But this is the Kelsey area. Let's just say it's between 5 and 8 miles to the west of the apartment complex over there. And so because of this, they went over there and searched a little bit, found nothing. I'm really not sure whether Mavis's phone pinging over there is something or not. He very well could have just been going fishing by himself over there. And there's certainly nothing against the law regarding that, and maybe nothing. And I think when you start thinking about, could there be foul play and could Mavis be involved because of Amanda and all of that, you have to start thinking Mavis is not a youngster. He's not as old as Alwin, but Mavis is well into his 60s. And would he be able to carry a 74-year-old man? Alwin was not small. I think he was over 200 pounds. So would he be able to do that? Would he need help? I think that you need to think about that. But this is the area over here where Mavis's phone pinged. Like I said, they went out there. I guess we're able to triangulate the area and found nothing. But that gives you an idea of how far that area is away from the complex. I wouldn't say it's close, but I wouldn't say it's far either. Now what I want to do is I want to diagram Gilmer Plaza, show you where it is. And it's kind of on the way to Kelsey Bottom. And let's see if I can get this right. That is not right. All right, let me try this again. No, all right, so we get back to the apartment complex, and the Gilmer Plaza, let me zoom out here for you, is to the east of town. It's right here. And what's noteworthy, I think, about this is that the plaza right here, that plaza is right here in the middle of the screen. Let me mark it, and that will then show you how far it is. Not far, about 2 miles. Now you should know the Gilmer Plaza is essentially a historic site. It's been abandoned. You can actually find a place where some photographers went there just to kind of photograph it and for posterity, I guess you might say. But over here on the left side of the screen is where the Gilmer Plaza is. And allegedly, what happened there is that somebody saw a white male being abducted and thrown into a van and taken away some days after Alwin went missing. The problem is, there's no follow-up on that particular story. Really, we don't even know if it happened or not. Nobody else has been reported missing in the Gilmer area that could fit the description of a white male going missing besides Alwin. But it's hard to understand. What are the odds of a man walking off and then he's walking down this road? Some other people abduct him days later and throw him into a van. I mean, what was Alwin doing during that time? It's just hard to say. Not to mention, it could have been a prank call. It could have very well been, because I think when we get over to the Gilmer area, if I were to, what are the odds that somebody would just happen to see this all happen in this area where it's abandoned? Let me just show you what the Gilmer Plaza looks like. That's what it looks like. That's the Gilmer Plaza right there. It used to be, probably back in the day, 1950s, 1960s might have been a thing. But here in the 21st century, its best days are behind it. That's the Gilmer Plaza with the boarded up windows and everything else. So I'm kind of puzzled how somebody would be in this area and even happen to see this. Was this a homeless person that got abducted? I don't know. But that is the other story that has caught Alwin's family's attention regarding his disappearance. But like I said, it was not on the very day that he went missing. It was some days after. So that is the Gilmer Plaza, and the address is, once again, it's Farm to Market Road 49 there, like the intersection of 154 and 149. And I'll just show you. I mean, it's really not that far away, but I guess nothing in Gilmer, Texas is too far away. If you're in the address of Gilmer, Texas, nothing is too far away. But once again, on the right side of the screen is the apartment complex, and the left side of the screen is where the Gilmer Plaza is. So those are some of the locations for the disappearance of Alwin Albright. We went through the video, what the video showed you the surrounding area, what that looks like if he could have walked off into some woods or a forest. Then we showed you the two locations, one Kelsey Bottom, the Kelsey area where Mavis's phone pinged on that day or shortly after the day of July 6th, 2019, and then lastly showed you where the Gilmer Plaza is. That's it. Once again, please like this video, please subscribe to this channel, and thank you for watching.